years, they've come to visit, but now it's affecting their trip.
I think it's gotten better. 2 days ago it was pretty rough.
Red tide is a higher than normal concentration of small alga or plant-like organisms. Every year, Southwest Florida gets in on red tide, but places like the Big Bend don't see it as much. Levels usually peak in late summer, fall, and winter months. Simon Hodges, who works at a local business on the island, says he has noticed a difference over the last few days.
Everybody who was coming was coughing and could tell something was wrong.
Forecasting the future of red tide is difficult, only being able to make a 3 to 5 day prediction based on ocean currents and weather. Hurricanes and tropical storms can move blooms around, and onshore winds can make respiratory illness worse. Long-term predictions on if and when it may come back are also hard to crack. Something that won't stop the Lim family from making the drive from Kentucky.
It's the first time it's happened in 10 years that we've been here, so yeah, we'll be back.
The Florida Department of Health recommends not to swim around dead fish, and if you live close to the beach, make sure you do bring your pets indoors. In Franklin County, Alexa Trischler, ABC 27.
The Florida Wildlife Commission encourages people to report any fish kills, and they're also looking for volunteers to take samples to improve the red tide sampling network.
Well, today the Leon County Health Department announced they'll be opening a COVID-19 booster vaccine clinic. The clinic will have Pfizer booster shots available for eligible people, as well as first, second, and third doses of all recommended COVID-19 vaccines and flu shots. The clinic will open Saturday, October 9th at Roberts and Stevens Clinic at 1515 Old Bainbridge Road from 9 to 1. Appointments are recommended. You can call ahead.
And we are taking a live look tonight over Florida State University, where they are now the proud recipients of a new $1.3 million federal grant to help underprivileged students gain access to higher education. FSU will use their new $1.3 million Talent Search grant money to create a pre-college program. It's specifically designed to help Title I students across the Big Bend. They'll pair this funding with other grant money to expand their current outreach efforts from reaching 50 students to reaching 500 students. The program will create opportunities for in-school support, after-school mentoring and tutoring, SAT prep, as well as college tours. Florida State University Director of Pre-Collegiate Programs says that the program will help keep high school students motivated.
But the most important thing is to normalize the experience of going to college. And so we find a lot of our students in our communities, they want to go starting at 9th grade, and we see those rates decline as years go on. And so we bring them on campus once a month to experience programming. But most excitingly, they get to spend 2 weeks on campus as a college student.
The on-campus experiences begin 2 weeks after primary school ends. The funding benefits Leon County students at Godby High School, as well as Griffin and Nims middle schools. They'll also serve high school students in Franklin, Holmes, and Bay counties. Also happening at FSU, a team of researchers have received a $3.1 million grant from the National Institutes of Health Directors to investigate racial inequities in healthcare. The team will collaborate with patients, community members, health administrators to identify innovations and decrease the likelihood of health systems and community partners adopting new evidence-based practices that could change the way care is delivered. The award is the first of its kind to be administered by the NIH.
A Florida lawmaker wants to better educate state prisoners and reduce recidivism rates as a result. Senator Jeff Brandes says he's working with the Florida Virtual School to create a justice education division. He says it could help teach thousands of the state's incarcerated improving skills like literacy. About half of Florida's 80,000 inmates cannot read at the 6th grade level. It's a major hurdle to finding work after incarceration and impacts the state's recidivism rate, currently around 24%.
One of the primary factors of people being able to get a job when they leave the prison system and not committing new crimes is the ability to read. And yet we spend no money, no real resources on helping people learn to read.
Now, he has not filed any bill language yet, but has plenty of time. Lawmakers return for the 2022 lawmaking session in January. Working hard to help animals in need. New at 6, how a little girl and a little lemonade are meeting a community need. But first, changing the way you reserve your next meal at a restaurant. What local business owners are doing and what you should do so you don't waste your money.
Another couple days before we can really put those rain chances down and bring the drier air, but it could be good timing for the weekend. I'll tell you why in your first alert forecast.
Well, restaurants in downtown Tallahassee are starting to change the way you can make a reservation with them. Some of them are requesting a deposit up front. ABC 27's Jada Williams joins us live in downtown to explain the reason behind the new change.
Restaurants like Savor behind me are now making a change, saying that people would make a reservation and not show up, causing them to lose out on money. For some Tallahassee restaurants, making a reservation is about to look different.
Over the past couple of years, we've noticed that on the larger weekends, whether it's football or graduation, we have a lot of people playing the reservation game where they'll make reservations not only at our restaurant but a couple of others. And then when they all get together, they group think and decide where they want to go, and they fail to cancel the reservations they had elsewhere.
Drew McLeod owns Savor. He says to combat the cancellations, he's implementing a $25 deposit for reservations of 5 or more. Anyone who cancels within 24 hours of the reservation has to pay $25 per person.
It creates chaos, and we can't get people in that would have wanted to be here.
McLeod says Savor had 128 cancellations last Saturday. Although he was able to fill some seats, that many broken reservations equals $6,000 in revenue and more than $1,000 in tips for his staff. Just across the street, Eluso is implementing a similar policy, charging $25 per guest who cancels a reservation the day of a busy weekend. The restaurant reports from the per-person average of last Saturday alone, Eluso and its sister restaurant Sage could have lost $30,000 if not for walk-ins. Then there's the restaurants that typically see more foot traffic, like Railroad Square Craft House, saying canceled reservations aren't a problem. Now, those business owners say that this problem isn't necessarily because of the locals, but more so people coming in from out of town. As a matter of fact, McLeod tells me that this year alone, the locals have supported him so much that it's been one of his best years to date. Reporting live from outside of Savor, Jada Williams, ABC 27.
The Florida Department of Elder Affairs has delivered its 6 millionth meal through the Florida Restaurant Meal Initiative. This is part of a larger number of 27 million meals delivered by the DOEA, volunteers, and lead agencies for the past year and a half. Governor Ron DeSantis says the Restaurant Meal Initiative is a prime example of innovation and ingenuity. The program remains sustainable because it's scalable for every community. The innovative partnership launched in April 2020 in response to the pandemic as a solution to feed isolated seniors.
Raising money for the Leon County Humane Society in a unique way. 9-year-old Vera and her mom Amber put up a lemonade stand to get the community together. All the money raised will cover food, veterinary bills, shots, and other expenses for dogs in foster care. Something the O'Connell family says is very important, especially for older foster dogs. The family says they knew they wanted to do something more to help.
There's something more we could be doing to help our community and make things better. And so fostering has been a meaningful way for our entire family to spend our extra time at home during the pandemic.
Are still being accepted at the Humane Society, and they're always looking for more foster families. Vera and her mom plan to do more events like this in the future, maybe switching to hot chocolate in the winter.